Alright, I've been gone for quite a while now, and before I get into all the details of what's been going on behind the scenes and in my life and what I have in mind for a new era in my life and in the channel, I think it's only fair to you guys, to all of you who have been with our community so long, and to all of the pixel biologists around the world, to go ahead and answer the #1 burning question that I know all of you guys have right now. And I really need to answer. Siri, where is WolfQuest? Alright, that was a little cheeky of me. But quite seriously, I don't mean to dismiss any of your concerns for those of you who have been so sweet and reaching out and trying to figure out what's been going on, not only in the last couple weeks when I completely disappeared off the map, but also in the last few months. And yeah, it's been a lot this year. And it ended with quite the crescendo of the equivalent of doing a lot of boss battles and like last minute drama that, whew, kind of put, you know, the other half of my soul in mortal jeopardy, and I'm not even joking, so it was a lot. But I'm gonna put all of those things at the end of this video, and I also have a couple videos up on the Patreon talking more about what I've planned for the future of the channel. That one's gonna be public, and that one talks about also getting diagnosed with inattentive ADHD when you're 34. So there's a little bit of that in there too. And there's also a more serious vlog that goes into the weeds and the details over what's been going on in the last year or more, really, and how I actually kicked butt. And I am not coming back to apologize because I actually kicked butt and managed to defeat a lot of final bosses. It really feels like I've just lived out like a 13-book fantasy saga, and I have emerged victorious for my version of Happily Ever After. And a lot of that you guys just haven't seen because, you know, family NDA. And also, when you're in the middle of it, you just don't know how to verbalize what you're experiencing yet, because a lot of our interpretation of those kinds of big events in life come afterward, with the benefit of hindsight, with being able to fit it into the narrative of your story and your personal growth or struggles. So yeah, all of that will be coming later, as well as some fun news and other things. But I wanted to start off on a really fun note by introducing you guys to some vanities. Yeah, that was amazing, wasn't it? Chips actually ended up with hypothermia by getting those videos of the manatees, and it was amazing. It was just absolutely manatizing. But it really was. It was an unexpected trip that we ended up taking a few weeks ago, and it was just thrilling. It was beautiful, and I am so happy I got to see that part of Florida, and I'm so happy I got to see such gentle, wonderful animals. If you didn't notice, they really were just swimming right up to Chips, and it was in a legally allowed place because he was in a little swim zone at one of the state parks. And if they choose to swim towards you, you just hold still and then they swim away. It was adorable. They were obviously immensely relaxed and curious around him. And the babies would come up and then you could see them being like, oh, what's this? Like they'd swim under the fenced off or the roped off area of the water and then just come right up to Chips, like at his feet. And then their moms would like patiently let them look at him for a little bit, and then they would push their babies out of the way, and they'd be like, all right, dear, that's enough. Let's leave the human being and go eat seagrass now. So that was really fantastic, and I am really glad that Chips and I were able to have a very like lighthearted, heart-lifting moment in all of this, because I don't know about you guys, but when things get really tough, I think it's really good if you kind of like break glass in case of emergency on trying to really remind yourself that the struggle you're facing is not the only thing going on in life, that there is still beauty, there is still something wonderful out there to discover. And that is actually, now that I think of it, obvious for me, because that's kind of the nature of my joy journals. Guys, I would like you to meet Callie. Callie is the shortened version of her full name, Kaleidoscope, and she's actually the camera base right here because these lenses swap out, and we may or may not be daydreaming about having many more of them because it's amazing. And Chips and I have been able to get some just mind-blowing pictures of just adorable birds and squirrels, and he is so excited to share them with you because he's been working so hard at figuring out how to make sure to do the editing and how to prepare it so that we can really start potentially, he loves it so much, he's even talked about doing like little update vlogs now and then, looking at our best of the best pictures together and talking to you guys about them and other silly things like ranking our favorite animals and why we think they should be in that tier list, and questions that like our patrons or you guys might have for us as like little cheery field note adventures like every week or so. I think that would be really fun. But that's been honestly the fulfillment of a life dream. And Chips got me this camera and these lenses and all the other things like her harness. We don't want to drop Callie, so we have a shoulder harness, and then you can actually just let her hang on your hip while we're walking, which sounded terrifying, but she is tightly and securely screwed in. It adjusts the weight so that then I don't have to have her like in my arms the whole time. She's a hefty girl, Callie is. I'm working on lifting weights literally because I'm trying to be able to hold her up for longer. But he got this for me because I finally feel ready to begin to slowly but surely prepare myself for adventures further out into the world. To be honest, we like just go on our walk 2 minutes at the park like next to us, 2 minutes away, and we've had some life-changing shots just there. But I'm excited about being able to really turn a new lens to the world, you might say, and be able to go out and see what's going on in Australia, because Australia's got some really cool birds. Also New Zealand, parts of China, which Chips, he's a polyglot, he speaks Chinese, Japanese, Mandarin, or let's see, and Mongolian. Oh my gosh, yeah, he knows a lot of languages. He's amazing. This is apparently just turning into like Seri gushing about her husband. I'll try to move on. But I'm excited, so I'm planning on being able to look out at the world and maybe one day be able to go on trips and take you guys along, like really along, vlogs and live streams in foreign countries, and being able to take pictures and create the kind of connection that honing your focus through a lens for me and being able to slow the world down until it's just you and that bird or that squirrel or whatever it is you're looking at, and just slow down and be able to really pay attention to the details of the thing that you're looking at, the other living creature. For me, that's one of the most powerful feelings in the world. That's why I like it. Not just so I can have pretty pictures, but because I truly and sincerely believe that anything we pay a lot of attention to, a lot of sincere, focused attention, we will be more engaged with. And sometimes that engagement also turns into appreciation and admiration and a excited, like, curious form of love where you just kind of want to jump around and you're like, oh my gosh, I never noticed the cute little toe beans on the squirrels before. Can you believe that egrets look like that? Oh wow, look at the little marks on that alligator, which was, in retrospect, like, I'm looking at the pictures of our alligators that we took in Florida and I was like, oh, some of those were really big. That was at least a 13-footer. I probably should have been more focused on, like, that could be potentially dangerous. We kept our distance because she zooms in. Do not worry, we kept our distance. But yeah, gonna have to just remember that for the future. Because sometimes when you narrow your vision down like that, not only do you find things to fall in love about something, but you also might walk off a cliff chasing like a flower or something. Like that famous scene in Zoocrafting many years ago. But speaking of which, so pivoting a little bit to what's been going on the channel, like I have mentioned before and will mention at the end of the video, and I have mentioned in the 2 vlogs that are going to be over on the Patreon, I did not forget any series. I didn't get bored of anything. I wasn't trying to neglect a certain story. I wasn't trying to disappoint anyone. Life was just a series of final boss battles to a ridiculous degree. And huge transformational changes behind the scenes that I can't talk about because of family NDA. But I didn't mean to leave you guys hanging, but I am not going to apologize because I think we all deserve it to ourselves to say, I had to go away. I had to go away and put all my energy into the act of being human, and I did it. Like, sometimes that means you withdraw from everything at the drop of a hat for a bit because you're showing up where you need to in life, and that's what I've been doing. So that's really hard for me, but I'm doing better. I'm not going to apologize for being gone, and instead I'm going to let you guys know how excited I am for what feels, for me at least, like a whole new era. The invisible weights, the mountains of stress and pressure that you guys may have kind of figured out by now, but have probably never even suspected or seen in my life, have been really sincerely and deeply blown up because I'm freaking awesome and I put so much work into changing so many parts of my life. Yeah, so that's what's been going on. I did not mean to neglect, drop, or ignore any of our series because I love them. I love telling stories. I'm so eager and excited to just dive into this other part of me again and share all the stories with you guys. I have some fun ideas for live streams and private live streams that I'll do with you guys, and I'll do with some of our Discordians, who are like our patrons, our YouTube members, and Twitch subs. There's going to be something really cool coming up behind the scenes that I'm really excited about, that you guys will find out about in a little bit longer. And it's not just going to be picking up where I left off, and it's not just going to be, at least in the energy of how I'm creating things now and the energy in how I'm living every aspect of my life, frantically trying to keep up with the schedule anymore. Yeah, I almost made a rude hand gesture at the idea of a schedule, which I never even do in real life, but I think that's how intense I feel about the way that, although it may have helped get me here, keeping to a strict schedule when it comes to something that is not just your work, that is not just your creative outlet, but that is a way that you are, that is you, that is how you express yourself in being alive, which for me is creating and telling stories, and not just like in video format. I'm currently working on a 1 million word fan fiction for The Wandering Inn. Like, I create a lot of things, pictures, like art, journaling, and cutting myself off from that by not having autonomy over to be able to feel connected to what I like to do because I'm trying to follow a schedule and an algorithm is very miserable, but I know I'm not saying that videos won't come out at a normal time. I'm not saying I won't end up having like some sort of schedule, but it's going to be built out of joy. It's going to be built out of a sense of wonder, and it's going to be built out of a sense of trust for myself, because I am not someone who has to have something on a schedule in order to record the things that we love. I'm not. By trying to force myself like that, that's what was really killing off my creativity. That was killing off my connection with myself. And it turns out that, you know, letting your life be dictated by really rigid schedules on your Google Calendar, and even more horribly by the metrics within all of the different platforms and systems. YouTube's not alone for this. Twitch, like Instagram, all of the things are metrics where you can measure yourself now. And some people could argue they're helpful. But personally, after 10 years of doing this, I have found that trying to live by those kinds of strict, rigid algorithms is like trying to let a blind robot with no sense of what it's like to put your hands in the soil, tell you how you should grow your garden. Like a robot that just kind of inputs, outputs, and says it should be like that, but doesn't pay attention to the weather, doesn't check the quality of the soil, has no idea that there's weeds in the garden because it didn't calculate that for the input. That's how I feel about living your life according to an algorithm. Is you can do it if you need to, and it might get you somewhere, but to be aware not to be hard on yourself, because that is like trying to let a uncaring robot take care of the unique and beautiful life that is your own personal garden. And I feel a lot better about that now, just like letting that go, kind of kicking it and being like, no, I'm done. But that sounds really dramatic, and it sounds like, oh, maybe she won't be making videos. It's the opposite. I feel so settled and happy in the behind the aspects of my life now that I have won fight after fight after fight with the final boss. And I am so in awe, kind of like to wake up in this new era of myself and look around and be like, whoa, we're really close to like 10 years now. It's 10 years of this now, and I want to do it for at least 10 more, at least. My lifetime goal is to have 25,000 YouTube videos, because I just think that would be fun. And it's also really amazing to just look around and be like, we've accomplished so much when I was using like the wrong kind of tools and the wrong kind of mindset for me to really grow and flourish like I wanted to, let alone this stuff. What is it gonna look like being able to move forward now with self-kindness and self-love and trusting myself and using that kind of energy to create adventures? I know that that may sound kind of hokey to some people, and it may sound really scary if you're still working on building a sense of important kinds of discipline in your life, because I did have to do that over the course of my life too. But when you can really trust yourself to make something like that happen without having to beat yourself with a stick and make it so strict that you can't tell if it's making you happy anymore because you're just busy following a schedule or an algorithm, when you can let all of that go and just trust yourself, because you know, in my case, creating these stories and trying to connect with people all over the world with curiosity and creativity and a passion for plants and animals and the world we are right now all sharing everywhere, every human on the planet, you don't worry so much anymore, because you know it's gonna happen. So that's how I feel about what's coming up. And I'm, to be honest, I was frantically scrambling at whatever series felt like it could keep either the channel propped up or my head out of the water over the last year. And this sounds a little silly, but I actually don't remember a lot of that very well, because there was so much intensity going on behind the scenes. But I do have these flickers of excitement and curiosity and wonder and kind of like happy, pleasant surprise of like, oh, that's right, Slime Rancher 2 did come out. Oh, that's right, there's gonna be an infant update for Sims 4 soon. It feels like if you put any of the series, like I Was a Teenage Exocolonist or our Planet Zoo series in front of me right now, I'd be like, oh my gosh, wow, this is amazing. I totally kind of forgot about it because it never quite was able to get its roots down into my actual creativity, my actual heart, my actual like happiness with my day because of all the things going on. So for me, I feel like I'm about to just like open up box after box after box of presents for all of the series that we have and what we're doing. And I'm really excited about that. Oh gosh, and actually, let me, yes, there's many things around my feet. Speaking of boxes of presents, I'm gonna need to go ahead and get someone real quick. And welcome, friends, to a visitation from the Seri ghost of Christmas past, because I do indeed have some wonderful things to show you, and through the magic of Christmas spirit, we are going to close our eyes and think of cold days and glittering lights and all sorts of smelly, yummy cookies that are baking in an oven, and return ourselves to Christmas, where I'm actually going to show you guys real quick. I have a pile of wonderful things from Frontier, who is the Planet Zoo and Jurassic World 2 and Planet Coaster team. They are always so kind and sweet to myself and Chips, because it was recording that wonderful video for them that actually ended up being the time when Chips realized he wanted to propose to me. So they are tickled by that, I'm tickled by that. We love all of their stuff. So this isn't like sponsored or anything. This is just me being very grateful for how kind they've been. And they've been very kind. I have actually been neglecting to show you guys because life, but no. See, we'll return to our Christmas magic and I shall display some gifts of curiosity. Like this adorable box is a really cute Planet Coaster box that just showed up one day. Has the little logo on top. It's got a cute little switch right here. And it had within it, at the time, these amazing enamel pins that I have not been able to take off yet because I was like, no, I have to leave them on their little spot so that I can show everybody before I take them off. But they're really cute. We have our bat, we have our fox, and we have our wonderful raccoon from the Planet Zoo Twilight Pack, which I do plan on playing through some more because I have not reached my goal of completing that scenario and of getting 100 gold quality bats. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think I just knocked some plants down there, that's fine. But they are no longer in the box like they showed up because now the box has some of my favorite washi tape. Well, that's just how it is sometimes. So that was really sweet. That was for the Twilight Pack. And then we also had the, I think, 3 or 4 year anniversary of Planet Zoo, and they sent my very first vinyl ever to me. I don't have anything to play it yet, but now I'm like, oh, maybe I should get that Stardew Valley vinyl, and it's starting to concern me how excited I am. But this is wonderful because this is actually with the updated music composed by JJ Epstein, and they worked so much with groups from around the world to try to make really inclusive and respectful music that could go into the background for their Planet Zoo episodes. And I'm really excited. I'm also kind of nervous because I've never had like a vinyl before, but this is like a limited edition vinyl that one day I am going to figure out how to play, especially because it's green and beautiful. I might actually just like put it up for display until I'm able to like maybe ask my dad for tips on what makes a good record player. All right, and then other than that, yeah, it's not over yet. Like I said, I've been meaning to share this with you guys for ages. Other than that, we have this adorable little box that showed up somewhat recently in another adorable box surrounded with like really cute recycled green confetti stuff. And in that box was this letter. I did take a peek. Chips and I both screamed. Yes, we both screamed when this letter came out because, let me see if I can do it right. It's for the Planet Zoo Grassland Pack, right? And, oh, you didn't do it. Okay, I should have wound them up first. But what happened is this is a little butterfly that it's all wound up. So when we opened the package, yeah, it did that. So suddenly we had something flying in our face. It was awesome. Also, we have a fun episode coming up very soon where Chips was helping me really get comfortable and really get back into the excitement of being able to record again. And so we did a Planet Zoo Grasslands episode together and ended up creating a butterfly black market. Yeah, hopefully that'll be out later today because it was awesome. But what's in the box? Beautiful box. It's gonna be filled with more washi tape. I can feel this in my bones. And inside the box, I can finally show you guys so I can finally start using it, is this gorgeous wax burner and a little incense spot. Isn't that cute? So you can put an incense stick in the top of this leaf. I love the leaf just because it's a leaf. It's a beautiful green and gorgeous wax burner. They sent a couple candles. You put the candles inside here to heat up the wax burner. And then I happen to have the mango and papaya specialty Planet Zoo wax to burn. So maybe later today, if I'm recording, I will finally be able to light this and I will finally be able to burn a little bit of that mango and papaya wax. Finally! I've been waiting to show you guys for so long so I could use it with good conscience. And then also, not related to Planet Zoo, but absolutely amazing and definitely going to be coming up on our future streams. From a family member, I actually got this package I wanted to show you guys. It's mushroom grow kits. It's 3 mushroom grow kits. We are finally going to be able to do our mushroom challenge I have been wanting to do for forever in Animal Crossing, and we're finally going to be able to watch actual mushrooms grow. So that's going to be really cool. There's a whole bunch of oyster mushrooms basically. One day I would love to learn how to make other ones too. They're kind of heavy, but I'm very excited about that. And then finally, before the ghost of the Seri ghost of Christmas past leaves you and we resume our regular huge long rambly update vlog, we have the yearly Christmas gift. And Planet Zoo was really sweet. They have sent something around Christmas before, so I think I have an idea of what is actually in this. But let me go ahead, let me open it. If it's what they did the year before, I think it's best suited for potentially a Christmas tree. And boy, I'm lucky, look at me, I am the Christmas tree. Chips got me this adorable dress because he loves ugly Christmas sweaters that are tasteful. And when we found this dress, he was like, oh, that's just so cute. Okay, we have a box, another washi tape box. Ooh, okay, hello. Oh, all right. And then we've got, so cute! That's what I thought it was gonna be! Yay! Another one of their limited edition Christmas ornaments. Look at that. And this one is the snow leopard too. That's amazing. I thought it was going to be like one of the new species from this year, but look how beautiful that is. Ah, I can't wait to hang it on a Christmas tree. Or, I don't know, like, will that work? Well, there we go. But alright, thank you guys. Let's go ahead and pop back into the update vlog. I just wanted to bring a little bit of cheer midway to celebrate kindness and excitement in animals and a little bit of the Christmas spirit. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Speaking of all of the different presents and all of the different things that have arrived to my P.O. box, it's not just Planet Zoo stuff, it is also some beautiful boxes of letters and packages that I have just ready to go for a stream, hopefully maybe later today on Twitch, that I am so excited about. And it's letters that you guys have sent into my P.O. box. There's some very sweet packages that I think are from our patrons for Christmas and whatnot. And I'm really excited. So there will be a stream probably either today or tomorrow on Twitch, later in the afternoon EST. I'm thinking maybe around 4? Okay, I say 4, but it'll probably be later, like Eastern Standard Time, because actually Chips and I have been going out for hours every day at sunset right now because there's a pair of mating horned owls in the area, and if we go out at sunset we have a chance to actually get a glimpse of them and hear them duetting, and Chips is trying with all his effort to take a picture of them, and he got some blurry pictures, but we're trying to get another one. So I'll have to show you guys those Bigfoot pictures. I think they're really adorable. But yeah, there will be a live stream, and there will be more live streams in the future, especially for the secret project that I'm going to be having over on the the Patreon and our Discord, so that's going to be exciting. You guys will find out details publicly later. But it feels good. It is not, the feeling I have right now is not returning to what I was doing before. It really sincerely is a whole new era of my life, and it's surreal, and to be honest, I think it's kind of beautiful to be able to weirdly share it with the world. I've kind of grown up here now. I'm not into YouTube for the fame or well, I like the money for being able to feed myself, but we don't really get much further than that, to be honest. So I'm here because it's been so wonderful to grow up with all of you and to share my adventures, and it's so surreal to go back and see itty bitty baby Seri before she and Chips had even decided, like, okay, we're gonna be official and move in together. That reminds me, I do have the new Oregon Trail, which seems like a segue, but those of you guys who first remember, at the very first year I was making videos, I played Oregon Trail and I added Chips in, and I called him my sorta kinda boyfriend because we had just met and we were thinking about really seriously dating. So you can watch him die of dysentery, I think, in those ancient videos. See, we have years and years of memories like that together, and I think the way that creating my stories in a format that ends up on YouTube, just casual and laid back and cozy like we do, and also curiously chaotic and filled with greenery. All right, it's mostly chaos here, and it's usually about plants. It's been able to really let me have a lens, kind of like Callie, in life to build my story. Because I really feel like if I didn't have my journals and I didn't have all of the videos telling you guys of all the adventures of the games that we're playing, I wouldn't have such a strong grasp of myself and who I am. And I wouldn't have such a solid foundation of an inner voice and this inner narrative. And I think that's worth sharing, because maybe that'll help some of you. That's one of the biggest, most amazing things I think recording, even casual vlogs or just taking pictures for my Instagram or making these videos has given me, is a way to really explore the world and figure out who I am and what I like. It's not about other people's approval. It's just about being able to have a medium and an avenue where I can really get to know myself in all sorts of different situations that otherwise, without having a little bit of the accountability of the channel, I know actually, because I used to be very, very like agoraphobic level anxious. I might not have pushed myself to try in the first place. So thank you guys, because you challenge me to not give up, to show up even better than before, and to be able to hold tight to the feeling of who I am inside, even when things get hard. Things were really hard last year. This is a part where I mention the hard things, so please, like, I love you, I love our channel, I love myself now, which is still weird but really cool. And I'm excited about the adventures we're gonna tell, and there's gonna be so many stories coming from a good place, yada yada yada, wonderful. I've just spent like, what, 30 minutes telling you guys that. I care about you guys so much, and stay curious for those of you who are ready just to end on a happy note. And for those of you who are kind of okay with going into the thick of things, it's been really hard this year. First and foremost, you know, my 3-day-old nephew died, and his identical twin is still struggling in the NICU. He finally hit 3 pounds the other day, which is a celebration after 2 months of being alive. He was born, he wasn't even born at 1 pound, which, science is amazing, and I've been so grateful for medical advances and the true literal angels that are like NICU staff from top to bottom this year more than anything. And you know, my sister almost died too, because of political decisions that were made this summer that scared and still scares the ever-living crap out of me. And then I had to deal with a few final bosses that are really personal. People, but also my own anxiety and a few ways of living and communicating, but those are all vague. But if I could put it into a story, it would probably look like a 7-book epic long fantasy story where circumstances just made it so the last year I was facing inner battles, I was facing outer battles, I was finally turning around after years and years and years and years of really scary and abusive situations with other people, and stood up for myself. And I feel like a freaking leveled up paladin of some sort of holy Seri plant order now. I feel amazing as a result, but it was hard. It was imperfect, it was hard, and it took me a long time and support from my husband and support from my amazing psychiatrist to be able to get here. And I'm proud of myself, but it was hard. My nephew died, my sister almost died. At the end of the year, my husband tried to pull the same trick, and ugh, I never want to do that again, ever. And I did have to change a lot about myself and what has been going on. Oh, and you know, also getting diagnosed with inattentive ADHD and watching that click a whole bunch of painful history together, and you go, what? And then you start some medicine and you're like, what? Yeah, it's a new era. It's a new era for me. And I'm really thankful that I gave myself the time to be human, and that I'm not coming back with an apology, but a story of personal triumph, because I'm ready. I feel I probably look like the same Seri. Maybe not. People usually can read really good expressions in my eyes, which I'm always like, oh, at those comments, like, oh, wow, awesome. I'm glad I'm apparently an expressive person, which I knew. Because, you know, the first thing that Chip said about me when he saw me on that OkCupid profile years and years ago is that he really thought I had a beautiful smile, and that's why he started talking to me. A beautiful smile and happy eyes, as he said. And I feel like that's more true now for me than ever before. So thank you guys for being here. It's a wild journey, isn't it? I have no idea what the next chapters will be, but I really feel after everything in the last year, ADHD, lupus, family stuff, my beautiful nephews, my sister, a lot of other family stuff, a lot of other hard stuff, I'm not scared or nervous anymore. I really feel like acknowledging that creating these stories isn't just for YouTube. It isn't just for other people. Without being able to tell these stories, I don't feel like I'm living my brightest, and I don't feel like all of myself is actually alive. Which sounds dramatic, but I think anyone who finds a real passion in life, and I don't mean alive as in, oh, if I don't make YouTube videos, it's the end of time. I mean just being able to create in whatever form that looks like. And spoilers, all that kind of stressful stuff kills your creativity. So it makes a lot of sense now that that's settled, now that I feel like I'm a freaking leveled up, level like 40 paladin ready to kick butt if anything like that tries to rear its head again. Now that I feel like I have the grace to give myself space to be human and not come back to you guys with apologies and frantically just trying to pick up where I left off before. Now that I feel like I have the tools and I have the experience, I'm not afraid of the future. I have no sense of hesitation. I'm just ready for the adventure. So thank you guys for listening for this huge long ramble. It went on a lot longer than I expected it to, but it's 10 years on the channel, and it's a new era for myself, and it feels important. I never would have gotten to where I am in life without people who spoke up in vlogs or blogs, especially blogs when I was younger, and gave me at least a little insight into how they managed to overcome things and how they managed to face things that were hard and were able to find a better path through persistence and through creativity and through a kind of gentleness that you need in order to create a new life for yourself. So I hope by sharing these things, it comes across like that. Even if it's just one person out there in the world, or even if it's just trying to talk to my past self. That's why I like sharing these kinds of stories and giving you guys this insight because I know it would have meant so much to me, and maybe it means so much to someone else too. It's all right. Thank you guys. Yeah, it's a journey, isn't it? And it's gonna be just adventure after adventure, and it'll be exciting not only to share silly games here in this area with you, but maybe brush off the vlog channel and just have some more heart-to-heart one day. That might help me discover who I am too. So anyway, I'll let you guys go. Thank you. Stay curious, guys. Bye-bye.